was sitting in central London waiting for a friend, and I had the instrument with me in the bag. So I took the instrument from the bag, I began to play, and then someone flicked me some money, and it landed in my case. So I was like, oh, this is interesting. I was almost a bit shocked at first, almost a little bit offended. But then after a few minutes I was like, no, it's actually quite nice. And within like sort of 5–10 minutes of sitting there playing, I had a good crowd of people around me. So it's the first time I ever had to address a crowd of people by myself. So yeah, initially my first performance playing on the street was by chance. And then a few sort of weeks or months later, yeah, I would have gone to the streets a few times, tried to be sitting in the same area as where I first played. But unfortunately that was the first time I've had the police come up to me and say that I couldn't do what I wanted to do. So at that point I started looking around for other places I could play, and I realised, well, no, here's okay, why can't I play here? So I kept on playing in the same position and having the police come and tell me that I cannot play here, cannot play here, cannot play here. Which sort of opened my eyes up quite a lot to the sort of history of land ownership, especially in and around London, and just how far back that goes and who's actually in charge of it, which is very interesting. And at that point I found a little spark inside of me that sort of said, no, you should be able to do this. You are from this place, all you're doing is playing music. This is one of the most ancient sort of pastimes and leisures and professions at the end of the day. You go right the way back through history, you've always had performers. In every single society that's ever been around, you've always had performers inside that society.
Okay, so yeah, thank you, basically. Thank you for coming, really. So yeah, I'm Daniel Waples, I'm from England. This is Flavio Lopez from Barcelona, España. Hola. Yeah, if it really starts to rain, you're welcome to come inside here, and then we'll just turn around, okay? These guys have all got backstage passes, but don't tell them that you're going to come in if it rains, okay?
Yeah, it's becoming increasingly harder for somebody to actually sort of step outside and just simply to co-create and just make something new live on the streets. I mean, there's certain areas in London where we're herded towards. Near the Millennium Eye, there's one big tourist trap, you could say, in the central London. So the Council of London have tried to put all the performers into this one area, knowing that the tourists can go there and see everything. But for me personally, I'm acoustic, so if I'm sitting here playing my acoustic instruments that's only audible to the people who are within like 2 meters around me, and there's a person who's 13, 14, 15 meters that way who's got a 100 watt PA system and he's a mime artist, with a PA system playing his music very loud, there's no space for me there. So for this reason I've always sort of tried to find spaces like markets and sort of places that are slightly away from the main hype. Like, okay, I go to busking festivals, I go to perform in Edinburgh, for instance, and in all seriousness that's quite hard work, because people, when you see the videos, you don't realise, when you see the videos on YouTube you see me, you never see my point of view looking out. For instance, now we have cars going past, we have aeroplanes going over. Unfortunately that's just a factor of the modern day life, and I haven't found that perfect quiet space to play yet. Some people have, and they keep it quiet.
So yeah, this is a hang drum. It's from Switzerland, it's made of metal, and it sounds the way it sounds when I hit it and it comes through the speaker. That's how it sounds, okay? Each one of these is a different size, it gives a different sound. This is the violin, played with a bow, 4 strings, made of wood. Yeah. Good. And together they sound like this. We're going to play a slower one now, I think. Luckily the coffee's wearing off. So, eins off? Yeah, okay. One thing I always forget to say. Take a deep breath and relax. So I'm actually reminding myself that, sorry.
The first time I played handpan was actually in the year 2005 at a music festival, It was very late at night at the time, and the guy whose instrument it was, I became quite close friends with him. So over the space of the next year and a half, I played his instruments whenever I could. And yeah, I contacted the actual manufacturers, because inside of his instrument there was actually a sticker with the actual address of the manufacturer. So I wrote them a few letters, they replied to me, and they invited me to come along and choose my instrument. So I picked my own up at the end of 2006 and the beginning of 2007, around about that time. Initially, when I first took the instrument, it must have been at least 6 months or 1 year before I ever even played it in public. Yeah, for me it was like something that I would use at the end of the day to calm myself down. In the daytime I was playing African percussion, and it's very loud, very masculine. And then in the evening time I would often find myself sat around a campfire or somewhere in nature, just connecting with the instrument, just playing. Not trying to make a show or performance as such, but just kind of like connecting with it myself and feeling good. I was playing the guitar throughout my teenage years, and then when I reached my early 20s I began to play African percussion. At that point I stopped playing the guitar for a little while. And after 1 or 2 summers of playing all percussion, I kind of missed playing the melody. And that's the time when I found the hang, and the hang found me. So it's almost like I was able to play my melodies on the rhythmical instruments. Yeah, as far as the influence for the songs goes, I would say it comes from being in a nice quiet environment, a nice pure space where I can connect with the surroundings around me, and I think that's maybe why in my work up until now I've never really gone into the studio to create a studio album. When I first took my own instrument in 2006, 2007, I think YouTube was like brand new, it like literally just started. So I remember the first time I ever saw a video of someone playing this on the internet. I think it was actually a guy called David Swarup. He's actually a very good friend of mine now. And along with that as well, there's a guy called Manu DeLego. Yeah, I'd like to call him a friend. Can't say we've ever drunk a beer together. I've seen him play a few times on the stage, but And a guy called Dante. I forget Dante's last name. He's based in New York. So hopefully I'll be meeting him soon. So yeah, these are the guys, when I first went to the internet I saw their videos. I wouldn't say I copied anything off them, and I mean, okay, I looked at them, I was kind of impressed by a few of them, and influenced a little bit, I suppose, in the sort of fact of like, oh look, he's using a certain microphone here, and so more that sort of side of things. But my actual playing, I used to play a lot with a guy called Danny Cudd, who's obviously now in a band called Hang Massive. And I think if you look at us two playing, the years over the video, if you look at the videos over the years, you can kind of see, we've bounced off each other. Obviously, some influence has been taken here and taken there. But yeah, as far as the actual sort of songwriting side of things goes, I would say I haven't really sort of set my sights on any one musician that I'm trying to imitate or use their style, you know. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about like what I'm doing with the instrument at the minute, because I don't hear even other hang players who are making the same sort of music. I'm hearing quite a few hang players coming now. Okay, I've found a few people who are playing, you know, cover versions of my own songs, which is it's very empowering. You know, it's very beautiful to see people on the internet taking it upon themselves to actually sort of you know, use one of your compositions themselves. It's beautiful. Handpan is such a new generation of instruments that there's still collaborations that have never been made. For instance, when I play with Flavio, I know that, you know, when some of the styles of music that we actually go through as a violinist and the handpan together, we're cutting into a new space. I haven't seen on the internet any sort of, you know, hang and violin duos before, so I know that the stuff we're creating now is really pushing out. In the past, when I was playing with Danny Cuds, you know, obviously two hangs playing together, and I found that in some ways a little bit limiting in some ways. You think of the guitar, you know, you can already imagine the guitar playing with pretty much every style of music, whereas the handpan, you know, people come up and they say, oh, you know, it would sound really good in a dance track, or like, have you ever tried playing Celtic music, or have you ever tried mixing it with pop music, or trying to take these new collaborations, if you like. So I kind of see myself almost as wanting to step into this light of taking the instrument into these collaborations with different genres of music, you know. Like I say, with Flavio, with the violin player, we've already created some very interesting tracks around the Celtic vibe, around the classical sort of vibration and West African influenced. There's a lot of people who are making very fast progress in creating something that's influenced by the Swiss pan art hang. You know, for instance, this one here is actually a Asachan echo soundscape, and the whole thing about this is like it's actually made in Switzerland by another person who is not the main manufacturers of the pan art hang. Pan art hang is like almost like saying a Ford car. You know, this is a Echo Asachan, the same as it would be like a Toyota. You know, you have the brand and the names. So yeah, like I say, if anybody who's influenced by this instrument, well, you know, get on the internet, start finding out information. Please don't email me every single day. Like, if I will publicise things as I find them out, you know. But to go to my inbox and have the same question repeated 5-10 times every day, you know, it's slowing me down. Yeah. looking to be working with management over this next year or two. Just simply because I want to concentrate on the music. Right now, I spend far more time on the internet trying to make the connections with the person who wants to book me for an event, along with booking the flights, along with like pulling the other musicians together, and then I've got to do all this other crazy stuff to make sure I'm there at the venue at the right time. It's kind of it's almost taken away from the music. So I feel at this stage it would be nice to hand over the booking and the logistics to somebody else, so I can actually concentrate on the music for it. Again. So I would say I'm in a transition period right now. I can go, basically any closer I can use my hands. That's about as close as I can go. So if you just turn the monitor down, it should be... Okay. Thank you. Sort of right now, the 9th month of the year 2013, just finished a studio album which is based around the compositions I've written with Flavio Lopez, the violin player. So it features myself and Flavio on most of the tracks, and it's actually mixed, recorded and produced by a man called Martin Craddock, who's a good friend who steps out from a band from, they're called Back Beyond. So with him, we're looking to, sort of put that album out. Actually, it's going to be the first album of mine that I'm actually putting onto iTunes and onto Spotify and all these other platforms. So yeah, there's one album, and there's actually another EP that we're hoping to release by Christmas. And there's also a project with a good friend of mine called James Winstanley. We call ourselves the Hang Drum Project. And again, we're actually looking to put out a studio album by Christmas. The music's almost finished, and so now it's just getting the rest of the artwork and everything else together. Okay. So I would say that one album that's coming out is going to be very electronic, sample based, and the other album is very acoustic and sort of very rhythmical based, you could say. So. Okay, yeah, it's good. Okay.
Mama!
Ooh, lights. Whereas myself, like I say, I started playing on the streets. It became very public about what I was doing because people started filming me, putting it onto YouTube. So with that in tow, I'm kind of looking now to step away from the street performance in some ways, because truth be known, my recommendation to anybody is if you want to play music on the streets, if you've got the bill that's to be paid on Friday, don't go to the streets to make money. We go to the streets because you want to play in public or you want to have fun. If you want to pay that bill on Friday, your whole emphasis about what you're doing when you're sat on the street is going to be completely different. You're sitting there thinking, I need to make €200 by Friday. And then you're sort of like this, and you're thinking about it too much, and you're not going to give as good a performance as you would do if you're just sitting there thinking, I'm playing music. It's almost like you've lost the goal. You've got the prize instead of the goal. It's very interesting.
And have a nice time and stay dry. And last song, so take a deep breath and relax. Oh, before I go, actually, can I ask a big favour? I got a text from my mum saying, where am I? So can I take a picture? Do you mind? Is that alright? Can I get a thumbs up, everybody? Yeah? 1 second, 1 second. Sorry. Okay. Smile. Lovely. Yes. It didn't work anymore. Sorry guys, next time, okay? I'll tell you what, if you're on Facebook, tag yourself. I'll upload it as soon as I finished. Yeah. And I'll put your details. Okay, so one more song.
What I'm trying to say is basically, performance in the street is a very nice thing, but if it rains, you know, take into account you might not earn any money. You know, you can't go somewhere and guarantee you're going to make so much cash, you know. Yeah, and as far as like the reason that why I'm smiling when I'm performing on the streets, I think it's because I generally enjoy doing what I do. You know, I generally actually enjoy playing my music, knowing that, okay, maybe the money isn't going to come today, maybe it comes tomorrow, maybe it comes next year.
One day. Oh, okay.
If anyone does like the sound of what I do on the internet from watching the YouTube videos, well, jump on my website, hangingbalance.com, and you're invited to download the music. I will say for donation. Quite a lot in the past I've said for free, but I've got to come to the terms that no, I do actually need to live. There needs to obviously be getting a return for my energy, basically. So I'm trying to use the word donation a bit more these days, you know. Like I say, at the minute I'm still independent. When I work with management, maybe I'm no longer allowed to go by donation. They will be charging a set fee. So get on the fact of that now, and sort of get in there and get it while you can.